Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you for the applause. Thank you for the support. Today I'm going to talk about a topic which is relevant and related to my PhD thesis. And the topic is tourism related, of course. And we are going to talk about tourism, the connections or the link between tourism, intangible cultural heritage, and climate adaptation. And if you are not so familiar with intangible cultural heritage, let me give you a few examples of what we call ICH. Intangible cultural heritage, or ICH, refers to things like music, knowledge, traditions, customs, and all those invisible or intangible aspects of people's heritage and culture. And in the last few decades, we have seen, particularly in the last maybe 20, 30 years, we have seen stakeholders like organizations, international organizations, governments, communities, and associations taking more and more notice of the importance of preserving, protecting, or the word that UNESCO prefers to use, which is safeguarding of this intangible aspect of people's heritage and culture. So there is increasing attention paid to the need to safeguard, that is to identify, protect and preserve, because quite unlike the tangible aspects of heritage and culture, ICH quite often runs a higher risk of disappearing, because the protection and the safeguarding of the intangible aspects of people's heritage and culture is quite different from doing that to the more tangible ones. So there is a connection between ICH and adapting to a warming climate, as more and more places discover that as temperatures rise, one of the things that rising temperatures can do is to create the problem of resource scarcity, which is associated with ICH. Resource scarcity is made worse, has been known to make worse by rising temperatures, by rising sea levels too. And so clearly there is a link between the intangible and the tangible aspects of our heritage and culture to climate change, and also to adapting to climate change. So I have been interested, and I'm in this journey of discovering the link between tourism, particularly how tourism activities or the presence of tourism or tourists can encourage, incentivize, or trigger or contribute to the safeguarding of ICH, so that at the end of the day there is a better support of climate adaptation. And so it might sound a bit complicated, but to make things a bit easier for you to understand, tourism potentially has an interesting and important role to play to safeguard intangible cultural heritage. And at the end of the day, the safeguarding of intangible cultural heritage, or ICH, in part is to be able to contribute better to the adaptation of climate change. Our heritage and cultures need to adapt better and better as climate change gets worse and worse, and the worsening effects of climatic changes means that our heritage and culture will be forever exposed to worse and worse scenarios and situations of resource scarcity. So adapting to climate change is something that many places have been doing. And adapting to climate change is actually quite an interesting topic, because there are different things different communities in different places do as far as climate change adaptation goes. Adapting to climate change could mean people moving to another place. Adapting to climate change could also mean people using alternative materials. Adapting to climate change in some cases could also mean people moving higher. Adapting to climate change can also mean people giving up on certain things relating to their heritage and culture and finding substitutes. So I guess there are some more examples of climate change adaptation in the context of heritage and culture that I haven't shared with you here. So I think I can say I'm on a journey that is probably going to be a very interesting one, to explore how the tourism industry is able to contribute to safeguarding ICH, so that at the end of the day, ICH or communities practicing safeguarding of ICH can do that while contributing to better and stronger adapting to climate change. It's not an easy thing to share with you this, because I'm still discovering, learning. There are new things that pop up on my screen, on my laptop each time I search on this topic. There are things that seem to join the dots for me when I search deeper. I hope you do enjoy, or at least to a certain extent, this nearly 8 minutes podcast that talks about the connection between the tourism industry and these few things. Yep. Climate adaptation and intangible heritage and culture. Till we meet again, I hope you have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.